That or I could do a joke about Crown Jewel.
Did you find your inner Uzi this week?
No, I didn't. Although, actually, you know what? Let me check my phone. I'm going to check my phone real quick.
To
Because
see if you found your inner Uzi? I'm confused. Why are you
sometimes my
checking your
Uzi
phone?
is in my phone.
Oh, okay.
God, I haven't had Uzi in years. That's is that what I don't think it's what I think it is.
I don't think so either.
I think it might be something else.
Probably. Did you see the rumor that it sounds like they want this to go to
Supreme Court?
Supreme Court, yes. They want this to go to Zayn and Kevin Owens teaming up and winning the tag belts off the Usos.
Really?
Yeah, that seems to be the rumor. Don't know if it's true or not, but I don't know. Seems to be the rumor.
So I have the numbers are in.
The numbers are in.
It is last week's episode, the Uzi episode, and I think it's because of the Uzi concept. Was the second highest video we have as far as views.
I'm
with
gonna
30.
I'm gonna guess that the first one was the MJF Double or Nothing one.
Yeah, it's the double. I think it was the Double or Nothing predictions. When we did predictions.
Okay. I would have guessed it was the one after that, but maybe we didn't have one immediately after that. Maybe it was just the predictions.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, it might have been the predictions because
it was predictions.
I think we filmed the predictions the morning of the paper or the afternoon before the pay-per-view, I think.
Or the day before, because I remember.
Because we knew about the MJF thing. Like no showing, I think, when we were making.
It had to be the day
predictions.
before because remember it was Memorial Day, so I watched it at my house, so I didn't.
That's
I didn't
right.
come over because of the fact that I was like, oh, I have
You
a
have
thing
to
going
work.
on.
Yeah.
No, I had because I had my family over, and I was like,
Oh
order
shit,
at
that's
home.
right.
Remember?
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
You're right.
It was the Double or Nothing predictions. It was the day before we did. The day before it was it, and
You're
you were
right.
like, oh,
I
you can come
remember that.
over. I'm like, I might order it because I have family over, and I don't want to,
You're right. Yep, I remember that.
And
now.
I did grilling. I grilled.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's happy. I like food.
Oh.
I mean, you can tell by the look of me, but
damn.
I think this is a medium, by the way. I mean, it's in the heyday of when I watched when I.
So
when
it's not a medium.
It's not a mellum.
Trying to think. You were trying to figure out how to put medium and large together.
Large, yeah. God, I'm stupid. I think that's good.
Or largium.
Let's start.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast all about wrestling. In this corner, an author and a black belt, Kibbles.
Kibbles? What kind of name is that?
Pookie the Wolf is the best.
I forgot my cockies. And in this corner, Pookie the Wolf.
Pookie the Wolf is one of the best.
Welcome to the Kibbles and Pookies Squared Circle.
Oh, also by the way, I know this is off topic, but do you ever get into stuff? You ever get into like stuff that you haven't got into in a while? Like I personally, this has nothing to do with wrestling, or maybe it does. I'll bring it around. I got back into Paramore, and I mean I've always loved Paramore, but like I got back into watching them.
Is that because they released a new single and there's a new album coming?
Yeah. Well, they're touring again. I think it's because COVID's kind of.
Yeah. Well, I think they're touring because they got the new single and there's a new album coming.
Yeah. Well, I think
so. They're like pre-touring. The album will come out, and then like
it's not until February.
A month after the album come out, they'll tour again.
Fucking February.
That is kind of long.
I watched Austin. It's the not Austin. Maybe it was Austin City Limits or something like that. Some kind of concert. It was like them and like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
And I watched the whole thing. It was like 50 minutes. And I'm not really big on like, why would you watch a live performance when you're not there? You know,
I like listening to live performances.
Yeah. But like, it was just so much fun. Like I felt like a kid again. We're just like watching them again. And
was it one of those like professionally done ones, or was it like just somebody in the audience?
No,
recording?
It was professionally done.
Okay.
It was from some kind of company that was streaming it.
Well, they have a lot of more than likely it was probably in overseas because they do a lot of like if you go on YouTube and you're looking for like professionally done concert stuff, there's like I feel like you always find like festival stuff from like the UK and Germany and
this
stuff.
was a guy like streaming it off of whatever platform they were streaming it from.
Right.
Like he was recording it from that thing.
Right. Yeah. No.
Probably
Yeah.
illegal,
What I
but-
mean is that what the recording or whatever is from is probably overseas in Europe, because they do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Possibly. Yeah, actually, okay, I get what
They
you're
do a
saying.
lot. Yeah, like they
'Cause
do
I
a
was like
lot
confused.
of
I was like, wait, no, it was in Austin.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
think it was Austin. I can't remember. But you know who was at one point talking to Haley Williams?
no.
Bailey, about doing her theme song for WrestleMania.
Well, that'd be cool.
You have a potential scam call coming in.
Fuck that scam call. I'm not picking it up.
Okay, well, yes. At one point, I think for WrestleMania, she was in talks to have. She was on Twitter talking to Haley Williams, saying, "Hey, maybe you can do a song at WrestleMania, and that'd be great." And then Bailey got just injured,
And then she got injured.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get Bowling for Soup to play Alexa Bliss to the ring.
Oh,
Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss?
oh.
I didn't know that a chick on TV could make me feel
You're
like
doing
this.
the lyrics. Stop
Yes,
it.
those are the lyrics.
You went full force. You're like, yeah, I'm
I
just
did.
go
I
for
went
it.
right in there. Went
but-
right for it.
Bailey had a match yesterday at Crown Jewel for the Women's Championship.
Did she win?
She did not. She got pinned under. So what Bianca Belair did, and I think this is how it won because I just watched so I watched Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Then they did the tag team women's championships.
Yep.
And then I saw a little bit of Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre, and then I left. And then I came back to Logan Paul. My sister had a birthday party. Her birthday's today. I came back to Logan Paul giving Roman Reigns that one lucky punch, but it didn't matter because Roman Reigns kicked out anyway. And then that was I saw the main event, and then that was it.
So
Oh, sorry, getting back to Bianca Belair pinned Bailey underneath the two legs of the ladders and then stuck it under the bottom rope so she couldn't actually get out because it was last man standing.
right.
So she pinned her up against so she couldn't actually get up. And by the time she got up, the ref was like, 10, that's it.
Interesting. So that's the second time that in a last man standing match that the face did something dastardly to keep the heel
yeah, she
down.
kept twirling her mustache, which was weird because I was like, I don't remember you had one when the match started.
Yeah.
It was super strange.
Like that ending reminds me of like John Cena being the good guy, taping Batista's feet in between the ring posts so he couldn't get up. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So yes, John Cena and Batista had a last man standing match. John Cena won because he, like, you know how like they do like they pull and the crotch hits the post so while they're laying in the ring. So he like pulled them and then duct taped his feet together. So then Batista couldn't like reach back around and get the duct tape off so he could get his feet between the posts so he could stand up before the count of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a really weird thing for a face to be doing.
It is they call it that move they call it's the old groin destroyer where you pull the guy's legs.
Oh, that's what they call it?
I think I don't know if that's the legal term or the technical term, but no, I don't remember that. I mean, then again, there's a chunk of time where I didn't really watch it, so maybe that's why. But I mean, I tell you what, I'm sure it was a good match. Was it on just a normal night?
No, it was on Extreme Rules pay-per-view, I believe. See, look, there he is. I hope you can see that.
He looks like Batista. Batista looks like he's laughing.
He does look like he's laughing in this
He's
picture.
like, this is silly. You're tickling me. Stop.
He does look like he's laughing in this picture. So there he is, duct taping his feet together.
And then John Cena gave him the "You Can't See Me." This is 2010. Interesting. Very interesting. Normally with
And that's how John Cena won a last man standing match against Batista.
Normally when two oily men tape each other up, there's going to be hardcore sex involved.
Usually.
But
Not in
unfortunately,
this
there was a
instance.
third man counting the other one out. So.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, Crown Jewel was after you're like right, it just like you were so upset. You're like, oh my god, after Crown Jewel, I saw. So the first match was weird because
Was it?
they
Because
did.
it was one of the only matches I was interested in seeing.
Okay, so the weirdest part was that, and I think it was because of issues that like injury issues, because they did the spot again where the one speared the other one into the barricade by the timekeeper or whatever,
Mhm.
and it looked like Brock Lesnar messed up his knee,
Oh.
and to the point where he had a hard time getting back up, and like he's powered through it, but it was just like there's definitely something wrong with your knee. Not to like it was Brock Lesnar, so he played it off really well. Where like he was like kind of limping and like he's like I'm good. It's just there's something definitely wrong. Um, but then they tried to go through that whole match like to try to have it make sense, and I think they legitimately. It's like one of those things where like they have this whole thing set up, and then one of the people get hurt, and they're like, okay, we need to work around this and try to make it work, and that's what it kind of seemed like, where it was just like Brock Lesnar was at a disadvantage the whole time, which is very rare from a Brock Lesnar match, where he's just like, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, and that was the whole thing. Like even Wade Barrett was like, he was getting his ass beat this whole match because like he couldn't stand up half the time,
Yeah.
and then the finish was stupid because Brock Lesnar pushed off the top rope with his feet and made Bobby Lashley fall on his back, still holding on to him with the Hurt Locker. And then the ref was like, 1, 2, 3, that's it. Brock Lesnar won. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because for one, if he's holding you, if this is your neck and he's holding you, your shoulders are not on the mat. You're holding the person's like. There's no way that he saw his Bobby Lashley's shoulders and went, "Yep, that's right. 1, 2, 3." Like he just did it, and I was like,
Interesting.
"That's just stupid." But
He did it because it was in the script.
maybe. I mean, they might have to work around it and be like, "Well, Brock needs to still win."
Brock
So
needs
how
to
are we
win,
gonna
and he
win?
can't F5 him.
He did F5 him actually.
Okay, never mind.
And they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be concerned," and he just picks him up. He's like, "Oh, never mind." And he just
Nope,
threw
I'm
him,
good.
and they just threw him, and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
He's like, nope, I'm good.
But yeah, that match was interesting. I thought it was gonna be a lot better than it was, and I think because of the injury, or he did something where he was just like, "I don't know if I could do this as well as I'm gonna." So
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. We'll see. The other match I was interested in seeing was the Logan Paul Roman Reigns match, which apparently the internet is really liked.
this is so what I saw from the match, which was the last right after. There's a moment where I want to say Paul, but that doesn't sound right. Logan Paul. I have to always say the full name. Logan Paul and Roman were at one point. Logan Paul hit him in the face to the point where like he did that like thing where he's like, and like Roman was like, "Oh, my jaw hurts, my jaw." Like he was like doing that for the after that whole match after he hit him, but he still didn't pick up the 3 count. So it was just like, "Oh, what's he got to do to put away Roman Reigns?" And he was so close and blah blah blah. And then like it was one of those things where Roman Reigns was like, "Oh shit, I might lose this match," and it was cool and all, but it was like, okay, so then he gets him. He's about to pin him, or no, maybe he didn't pin him at all. Maybe he like rolled out of the ring or something, because then he rolled out of the ring, and then Roman Reigns was like kind of just like out of it. So he put him on the table and did the whole thing with Miz, where he tried to jump off the thing, and he did it. But this time he was carrying a phone, and I guess streaming it or Instagramming or whatever the fuck he did.
Yeah, he recorded it. They he posted it up on social media. Not gonna lie, it looks fucking awesome.
It probably does.
It looks fucking
But-
awesome.
So this is the thing. For me, he's doing great. I think he's doing a great job as a wrestler. He's a great, boxer. He's a great, maybe not YouTuber, but that's fine. But the concept of the whole frog splash, it's like Shawn Michaels after you do the moonsault or whatever he did from the the elbow drop, whatever, from the turnbuckle to the table. It's like eventually you're like, yeah, it's gonna lose its kind of thing, because like the second time I'm like, oh, this time he's holding a phone and recording it. Cool. I was like, if he probably does this again, I'm probably like, okay, he's doing the dive again. Like, someone's got to move eventually, which I'm waiting for. But I thought Roman Reigns was gonna move in general. Like I thought they gave him a lot more credit for this match than I thought he was gonna be, because I was like, oh, he'll be able to keep up and give his respect. But it was like actually legitimately like oh, Logan Paul's keeping with him and he's doing flips and shit, and he was good at that. He was his acrobatics is great, like his athleticism, it's fantastic. Which hurts me to say, but he dived off and jumped into the Usos, both of the Uso brothers, and like just a great job of like being able to put on a show. And it was just like the Miz match where I was like, wow, he actually did really well. Again, don't want to give him credit for it, but it was pretty nice. Like it was a fun match. I at one point thought, I was like, are they gonna legitimately? I was like, there's no way they can give Logan Paul the title. I was like, there's no way. And I was like,
If they did, it would clearly be. I mean, to me, if they did, it would clearly just be like a social media stunt.
yeah, sold David Arquette.
Yeah. Although I will say, I think,
David Arquette's a better wrestler.
I guess I don't know. I don't know that I've ever really seen David Arquette wrestle.
You've never seen him versus Nick Gage?
I've seen pieces of it, but I haven't like watched an entire match. The entire match. I will say that I think the internet there'd be like a lot of tweeting, a lot of shit. Like if Logan Paul had won, like there'd be a lot of people talking about it.
I think there'd be a lot of praise and a lot of backlash.
Oh yeah.
I think eventually he will get it, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
But who will topple the Roman Empire?
The Bloodline? The Usi franchise? Yeah. I don't know. Like, who else do we even have?
Who else do we even
That's
have?
the problem with the Vince era, where like everyone just gets destroyed, and you're like, who
else do we even have?
Who else are you gonna use that you haven't already had him get his whoop their ass?
Yeah, I mean the one. I guess my one thought would be if Cody Rhodes is healed and ready to go soon enough, maybe he returns at the Rumble and wins the Rumble.
I forgot about Cody Rhodes.
And then, I mean, even before he got injured, I kind of was like on this path of like, I think Cody's the one who dethrones Reigns because I don't know who else would.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Excuse me. What I wanted to know and ask, and you can probably see where I'm going with this. Is El Generico, is that like a Ring of Honor thing?
Yes.
So he wouldn't be able to.
Well, he did it in Ring of Honor. You're asking, does
Would he
Sami
be able
Zayn
to-
own that, or does Ring of Honor own that?
Yes. Would he be able to be El Generico in WWE?
That I don't know.
Because that would be cool to have him dress up as El Generico, beat Roman Reigns, and then find out he's Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
As if everyone's dumb and doesn't know he's already El Generico.
Yeah. I think. I actually have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
When are you going to use that character again?
Never.
So, like, just do it and then be the way that you get the title from him.
Yeah. Again, still missed opportunity. He should have the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah. Wait, who has it?
Austin Theory.
Oh, right. God, I forget about people a lot of the time. I think it's with both companies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did text you about the one joke, which I'll tell here, which was that I didn't realize that I was when the women's tag team champions. By the way, didn't Damage Control have those, and then did they lose them?
They lost them on Monday, I think.
And then they won them back.
Yes.
I don't like that.
I can't remember if it was this week on Monday or the week before.
That is,
but it
one
was
thing-
very recent.
That is one thing that I like about AEW, where titles don't change hands that fast. Yeah, like they don't go back and forth every other couple days. It's like a big. Every title change is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I would venture to say that
they feel like they have more weight to them.
Not right now, but I felt like there was a time period where the TNT Championship was changing hands a lot.
Well, that makes sense.
When it was like Cody to Sammy, and then Sammy. I feel like Sammy lost it to Scorpio Sky, but then I feel like they flip-flopped it once.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
He won it and then lost it again, I think.
I think, yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like, I feel like him and Scorpio Sky flip-flopped it once.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. TNT did that. But then again, I don't really have that much weight
But-
to TNT. Which is why I'm like, what is
Whatever.
Wardlow doing?
Yeah, he's Ward Joeing it up.
Give me something. Give him something else. Like
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened with that. Yeah, and man, he had such momentum too, and they totally fucking botched the fuck out of
Would
that.
you want to see Wardlow versus Samoa Joe?
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's what they look like they're going towards.
I
At
mean,
least.
that'd
And
be.
Ward Joe breaking up because on Friday night, I think it was.
They have something on Friday. where they-
Wardlow was like pissed to the point of like, I don't care about my teammates, just fucking, I want Powerhouse Hobbs, and like
Yeah.
Samoa Joe's like kind of giving that look like, you really just disrespect me like that?
Yeah, you just disrespect me.
He's like giving that like this stink eye.
The stank eye.
So,
Maybe they'll fight at either Full Gear or Final Battle.
probably Final Battle.
Final Battle.
That's December, right?
Yeah, December 12th or something like that.
So anyway, the joke was that the tag team champions Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Sorry, I was drawing a blank. They both came out and they were wearing like these wingsuits, these fucking skydiving outfits, and I'm like, why the fuck are they wearing these? It's like, and then Damage Control came out and they were wearing like sky suits, and I'm like, are they all gonna go skydiving after this? Like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, because they're in Saudi Arabia and you can't show like, I think it's like knees and shoulders. I don't know. When I looked up Googled
Yeah,
it, I was like, oh,
I mean, basically the only thing that they're showing is their
Faces?
Their faces. Everything else is covered.
but their feet are okay. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but the feet.
Oh my god, the feet.
The feet.
I do not. I'm not gonna do a voice. I feel like that would be racist.
It's probably a good idea.
Point is that yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not gonna be PG or kiss anybody's ass, but that's a stupid concept. But then again, that's a different country, and they have different views than us.
Different country, different views.
Different
I know that
rules.
it was I know that when they had the first women's match a year or so ago, or whenever it was like a big deal because women don't play sports or have
Don't have any rights.
yeah,
You
and-
know
yeah,
how it shouldn't be.
yeah. So I know that WWE's trying to tout out that they're oh, we're changing the world for the better by
Stupid.
allow it by being an influence enough that women can perform now at
Yeah, women can
in
do
Saudi
stuff.
Arabia.
They're back in the 1800s, and we're over here, having women the right to do what they want with their body. So this whole conversation.
I mean, I'm starting to
pretty
question.
pissed.
I'm starting to question that last statement.
What? Well, yeah. I mean, we don't have
But-
to get into that, but
We got some shit going on.
the
let me
point
tell
is,
ya.
is that we have people who should live that way, and people are people, and whether you have
people's is people's.
what people's is people's. As Depeche Mode said it best: people are people wherever you go. Speaking of which, I just knocked over my phone and had a weird dream.
Speaking. Wait,
So I had a weird dream. Okay, so you ever
wait.
have
You had the weird dream right now when you knocked over your phone.
No, I had a
or-
weird dream and I remembered it this morning, and I was like, I should tell Kills about this because this involves him.
Oh,
It's not sexual.
okay.
It's wrestling related. So I had a weird dream that I remembered, and you ever have that notion? My voice cracked. You ever have that notion of when you hear something from somebody in a dream, and you go, well, that's not true because I know this is facts. So I don't have a podcast with Ethan Page. I have a podcast with you, but for some reason I had a dream about it, and he was telling me about one episode where I said something funny, and I was like, and then in my head I'm like, wait, where's Kibbles at? I'm like, that's the only person I have a podcast with. So I was like, where the fuck is Kibbles at? And then the whole time I'm confused, and then I forgot about it, and then this morning I had breakfast. And I was like, I remember having a dream about all ego Ethan Page and talking about toys and wrestling and shit. And I'm like, he doesn't even have a podcast, which is the weird part. But I'm like, why did I replace Kibbles with Ethan Page? I was like, it's so fucking weird. So it was like that was a weird one too. So, but yeah, it wasn't sexual. It was just I guess we were just talking about stuff, and I made some kind of joke, and he said, "Oh, that one really got people to watch that episode because of some joke you said." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I was so confused. But yeah, that was it.
Good old Uncle Howdy
I didn't see what happened
had
with
some
him.
things to say.
Did he just talk?
Yep.
So he didn't have a match.
Nope.
We're just stringing that along.
Yep.
Are you bored with it?
Yep.
Do you think I'll have a match anytime soon?
Nope.
He said exactly what answers I was waiting for. He didn't. Nothing was crossed between us. Where it was like,
yeah.
yep, nope, nope. Okay, good, great.
We talked about this last time where like I'm trying to be patient with it, but like I'm also getting to the point where I'm like, hey, I can be patient, but like you got to move the story along somehow. Like this, like to me, the story is not moving along. To me, it's every week is the same thing. Bray Wyatt talks about how he's so glad to be back and the people saved his life, and then like Uncle Howdy or like something happens where he's like, oh, eventually you're gonna hate, you're gonna let it out, and they're gonna hate you, and you can just keep the mask on if you want. And I'm like, okay, but like I can't watch essentially the same promo happen every week. Like I'm like, can like the story move forward a little bit? Like, can Bray Wyatt, maybe if he doesn't have a match, but can something happen where he like starts to snap or something, and like it shows, and then like Uncle Howdy can be like, see, I told you, or something. Like I feel like the story's not moving forward.
You're at a strip club, and the stripper dressed as a schoolgirl is still doing the top button on the button-up shirt, and you're like, come on!
Yeah,
I've
like
been waiting here for 2 hours. What are you doing?
yeah, what are you doing?
And
you just stuck with that button.
I'm having a hard time with it. Hold on. It's simple. It's just a normal button. Just do it.
It's just a button. Just do it.
She's like, I'm gonna get this off eventually.
It's stuck on a thread.
And then some guy in the background's dressed as Uncle Howdy. You're gonna get it eventually. Yeah, that's what it makes me feel like. Whereas it's like, we're at the point where you're getting teased so much where it's like, just do what you're gonna do now. You have everyone's attention.
And
you're gonna lose that momentum.
Yeah, and they don't have to like fully snap and have like whatever it is like happening, but like I like at this point I don't feel like there's any forward momentum in the story. I feel like I'm just seeing the same thing every week. There's no like something different needs to be said, something needs to happen. Like there's no forward progression in the story. And after like 5 weeks of this, I'm like, bro, there's got okay.
It's now a month since he's been back. It's it's very, 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 very I guess, what's the term I'm thinking of? Anticlimactic?
Yeah.
Like not upsetting, but very kind of, I don't know. That's the best way to put it together. But yeah, I watched Crown Jewel, only like 3 matches, but they were not bad. Nothing really to look forward to. Nothing ever really gets me with those stuff. Like when I watch WWE, I'm like, nothing's ever like. I think, like I said, I watched a couple episodes back. I talked about when I watched Raw, and there was a triple threat match between Mustafa Ali, Ciampa, and Styles, and that was a good match. I was like, that was just fucking a good match all around. But nothing really kind of gets me to the point where I'm like, yeah, this is great. I want to see this. Actually, matter of fact, the what's it called? The Fight Pit. That one wasn't bad at Extreme Rules. That was actually not bad. It was weird because it also seemed like one of those things where, like with Riddle, where he got hurt and was like, we have to keep moving. Let's just end the match. But it's a lot of stuff where it's just like I don't really know. I don't really get excited. It's just not. There's not much. There's not much to it. There's not much to WWE, and it's like, listen, I'm not completely against it. I've talked about it. I try to stick with them. They are the brand that makes it all happen. They're the top brand and they're the top company when it comes to pro wrestling. But it's just like nothing's really kind of exciting.
Top brand, top company, and they got a wrestler named Top Dollar.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Oh.
Anyway, how much time are we at? I feel like we've been talking forever already.
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay. All right. Well, Kibbles, what are you going to talk about? What you got going on?
What I got going on? So much going on. Acclaimed every Wednesday was very entertaining this week.
Dynamite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least the birthday bash was. I mean, the whole show was, but the birthday bash was very entertaining.
The birthday bash was with his hands wrapped up and everything?
Yeah. And then he got the foam fingers so he could scissor.
Yeah.
And
That
I was
looks
like,
pretty
oh,
good.
that's a great marketing. that's a great marketing ploy to be selling the foam fingers. So you
Yeah.
can, that's great.
That's another thing with, like, Swerve got me the same way that Eddie Kingston did, where I'm like, I feel like he's legitimately not playing a character, and then, like, when he would start with him, because he's starting to slowly, like, he is a heel now, like, but, like, I was like, is he legitimately upset that he has to fight the Acclaimed again, or is he just, like, doing a character? Because, like, I feel like they knew that was going to happen. Like, they were like, well, you guys are going to beat him, and then at the pay-per-view, and then they're going to fight you again and take the titles from you. And then, like, the concept of him slowly turning heel just seemed very, like I'm sure not many people saw it because the fight that broke out, but Swerve was very, like, not compared to Keith Lee, he was not very respectful of the Acclaimed. He was just like, he's like, well, I don't know why we could deal with him again. He's like, I don't know why we're talking about him in general anymore. I mean, we beat him and that's it. And then, like, Keith Lee's like, yeah, we gave it our all and they gave it our all and we just ended up on top. Like, it was just like such a different, and which is what they were going for. But Swerve had that moment where, like, Eddie Kingston, where I'm like, is he doing a character or is he legitimately upset or legitimately being this, like, a-hole? So I did like that. I do like what Swerve's doing right now, where it's just like, I legitimately feel like he's doing a good job of seeming like he's angry. He also does that thing where, like, when he's angry, he just, like, gives that look where you're like, oh, you look insane. And you're like, you are becoming a heel. It's like, you just look insane right now. Where, like, his facial expressions are really good when it comes to, like even when they lost the titles, he's just like just couldn't believe it, and I just love it. It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Boom. Yeah, fun stuff. Boom.
But yeah, it was
Did they announce more competitors? Did they announce all
They
the
announced
competitors
the
in the
whole-
tournament?
I'll bring up the tournament right now. They actually announced the whole tournament.
Okay, the only ones I'm aware of is I know that Ethan Page is fighting Eddie Kingston on Wednesday.
Dante Martin, I think, is one of them.
Makes sense.
I wrote fall when I meant to say full.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they had announced all the names or just some of the names.
Yeah, I know Dante Martin. Here we go. Bracket announced. It was announced on Friday, I believe, because they were showing it off.
Yeah, they said they were going to announce more names on Friday, and I wasn't sure if like it was going to be all the names or just some of the names.
So it says Brian Cage versus Dante Martin. Yeah, that's a weird one.
I think it'll actually be a really good match, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm like, do you have Dante Martin lose that?
Probably. I mean, they seem to be like doing stuff with Brian Cage, so maybe Brian Cage. I don't know. Don't know.
Ricky Starks versus Lance Archer.
Ricky.
Yeah, well, obviously Ricky, but it's just like, that's interesting. He's gonna be fighting a pretty big dude, and like Ricky's kind of medium.
Yeah.
He's not small, but he's not like a huge dude.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston versus Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm.
Bandito versus Rush.
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Roosh.
Let's see. Who moves on? Let's see. I think Ricky Starks wins. Ethan Page wins.
Brian Cage.
Bandito. That's very interesting because that could go either way. I guess I'm gonna go Brian Cage.
Yeah, it's weird because they highlighted him as like one of the people that were going to be in it, but I'm like, well, he's fighting Brian Cage. He might get his ass whooped.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, that match could go either way.
Yeah.
Because I could also see them. Did they say what side of the brackets they're on?
Kingston and Ethan Page is on the left side, and Bandito and Rush are on the left. Rush are on the left side.
Okay, never mind.
But it says all it says for the tournament is just that Eddie Kingston and Ethan Page are on Wednesday, and the rest are all on Friday. Doesn't say what date. It just says Rampage Friday.
Okay. Okay, so Bandito. Well, but I mean Bandito and Dante Martin are on opposite sides.
Yes,
So because of that, I'm gonna go probably Brian Cage.
because you think that Bandito and Dante Martin would be a good match, but they're not going to do it.
Correct.
Okay.
If they did it, it would have been the semifinal. I don't think the finals will be Dante Martin and Bandito.
So
I think Ethan Page is in the finals.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think he's just going to win it all?
Probably.
Because the winner fights at winner. Winner is coming.
Yeah, probably Ethan Page. My guess would be Ethan and Ricky Starks is probably the finals.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because I don't see, if Ethan Page is going to the finals, I don't see it being Brian Cage. Because I think they would want a face on the other side. So that means it's either Dante Martin or Ricky Starks. And I feel like Starks makes more sense.
Yeah.
So it's probably Page and Starks as
Starks
the finals.
is really wanted. I mean, a lot of people like him, so I would see that.
Yep.
as
I think Starks and Page is the finals. I think Page wins.
Fights MJF at winner is coming.
I guess so. I'm still so not sure who's winning this main event match. Because it could go either way.
Yeah.
There are so many possibilities. I could see Moxley just straight up beating him. I could see MJF just straight up beating him. I could see MJF winning because this whole thing was a ruse and the firm helps him win the championship. I could also see the firm screwing MJF out of winning the championship. There's a number, there's a number of different ways it could go.
Do you think that? Well, do you think they could do something where along the lines of setting that up where he does win at Full Gear because of cheating in the firm, or not even cheating of the firm the first time, and then he's in this big, fight with them, and then when it comes to Ethan Page versus him at Winter's Coming, he just kind of lays down and.
Yep, I could definitely see that happening.
That would be clever. I'd like that. I feel like I'd be fooled and bamboozled by that. That'd be fun.
Bamboozled.
I do like a good bamboozle.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Apex players is Mirage, and he bamboozles people.
He bamboozles.
He bamboozles the fuck out of people, dude.
It's like you can't even fathom the level of bamboozle.
The level of bamboozling is just ridiculous. Anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of excited, but at the same time, I'm like not really watching it as much as I used to. And I hope it's not because of Punk, because I do enjoy everybody. It's just a matter of fact of like the motivation for it.
And the world is definitely talking about the fact that it seems like Punk is out, and then suddenly Colt Cabana is on Dynamite.
Yeah, they said there was an article that said he was a morale booster for the locker room in AEW. And I'm like, well, that's weird because he's supposed to be a Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Well, he was fighting for the Ring of Honor championship. Remember, he fought Chris Jericho.
But of course.
Because Chris Jericho's defending against former Ring of Honor champions.
Yeah, I thought it'd be someone more interesting. No offense to Colt Cabana.
Oh.
But like someone like
It's Colt.
Seth Rollins could come out and be like,
yeah, I don't think that's happening.
I have the U.S. title and I'm gonna win the Ring of Honor title, and he does a little cackle, and then they fight.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
And
Gotta
he
be
misses
honest.
his stomp, and he does the crow breaker, and then he loses, and he goes back home to WWE.
Gotcha.
Do you think? Okay, so do you think that's possible that in our wildest dreams, you don't think any way that Triple H and Tony Khan could work together and do a show that involves like
Oh,
Forbidden Door.
if they were to work together, and I would say that it's highly unlikely and improbable,
The thing that
but it's possible that they would come together and do a show. If they were going to do something like that, it would be them coming together and doing a show. It would absolutely there's, in my opinion, there's absolutely no way Seth Rollins just randomly shows up
I
and
know. I'm
challenges Chris
joking.
Jericho.
Um,
But if they were to promote a Forbidden Door type show, definitely possible.
they would lose their shit. People would lose their shit.
Highly unlikely.
People would lose their. I think it's so cool, the concept that it's completely possible now.
It's completely
it?
possible.
Probably not.
Incredibly unlikely.
Someone put a video out that was like all the dream matches for that kind of Forbidden Door match, and I'm like,
Well, people have always been doing that. I remember they were
But
doing that with TNA.
they
and
did it in
WWE.
the premise of like Forbidden Door promo where they showed the people in the little portal things.
Oh, okay.
But then so the problem was that all the all the matches had some title on the line. I'm like, you can't do the titles on the line because there's no way to.
Because the other
Because it was like
person's gonna win, yeah.
like it was Roman Reigns versus Moxley, and it was like winner take all. I'm like, you can't do that. You just
Yeah.
have them fight. That's it.
Yeah, and yeah, you can't do that. The other thing that you have to think about is you'll run into the same thing that you had with Forbidden Door,
Mm-hmm.
where it is a dream show, but you will only actually get maybe one dream match because the other matches will be good, but they won't be considered quote unquote dream matches.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, why is Orange Cassidy fighting Will Ospreay? That's like Will Ospreay should be going against some crazy awesome AEW person or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's because Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy can have a fantastic match, and Will Ospreay can win, and it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
the other person. You will see a lot of that. There'll be a lot of matches where it's like,
It's like, why would you want Roman Reigns to fight Moxley? It's like, we've probably seen that before. I was like, why not
Yeah.
do Moxley versus Gargano or something like that? And just be
you would
if-
want to go in that direction.
if Gargano loses, then it's no big deal.
Yeah, you would see stuff like that happen where you could. I mean, at least that's how I felt with almost all of the Forbidden Door matches. I was like, this is going to be a great show, but going into it, I could point out on 9 out of 10 matches who's going to win,
Yeah.
because it's obvious.
Yeah.
I will also say that Ospreay and Orange Cassidy stole the show for me and was my favorite match.
I agree. I love both of those guys. There's so many stuff.
And Tony, how dare you not know who Will Ospreay is? It was good for that 14-year-old kid to tell
Tony,
you
you
don't
piece
know
of shit.
shit.
That's an inside joke. The concept of and I'm sure we have plenty of time to do this. Do you want to do a Forbidden Door WWE thing?
Sure. You mean fantasy book?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
fantasy book that.
Let's fantasy book this shit.
Okay, so we're talking right now.
So are we working together to come up with this card, or is it just you're coming up with the card, I'm coming up with the
I
card?
feel like we should do our separate thing because you have a different viewpoint than I would.
Okay.
Or just throwing out matches that would be good at least, just stuff that.
Well,
we could
that was
do.
going to be my next thing. I was like, are we just going to throw out matches and
feel
talk
like
about
that
it, or
plays
should
enough.
I take 5 minutes and put an actual card together?
No, I feel like we should just throw out matches because.
Just throw out Okay.
So as far as an opening card match,
Oh, an opener, a show opener, you say?
yeah. I feel like it'd be I don't know. I think that what would be good, and I'd want to say, is not even any title involved, but Miz versus Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
I feel like that would be a fun thing because he could be so mad at the carelessness to Orange Cassidy to not give a shit, and Miz just be so upset by it. What are you doing? Stop it! Why you have your hands in your pockets? Just freaking out.
I like it. I like it.
That would be a good one, or just Orange Cassidy versus someone even Orange Cassidy.
You can't just say someone. You got to pick somebody. You're making a
I was
card.
gonna say I was about to say the other person, which was probably be KO. I think that'd be a fun.
That would be a fun
just
one.
the one where just the way he got mad about Ezekiel and Elias stuff, just the way he would be like screaming at Orange Cassidy, like, "Stop it! Stop putting your hands in your pockets! What are you doing?" Like just that kind of shit, where it'd just be like, "Stop it! Don't do that."
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually agreeing with you on the Miz, and then you said KO, and I was like, actually, KO might be better.
Yeah, wrestling, even I think wrestling wise better because KO will just he doesn't care. He'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
He's cool with the whole hardcore stuff.
Yep,
and
I like that one. I like that as a good Cassidy
and
KO. I like that.
I like that a lot.
Like it a lot.
I actually thought of so in this retrospect, is MJF the champion or is Moxley? I feel like that's so hard now. That
I mean, I
Moxley's
guess it would be
champion.
whoever you want to be the champion. Your fantasy booking.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like this would be after Full Gear because I'd have to do it,
Right.
if
right,
it was
right,
a thing.
right.
I'm just throwing it out there. DMD versus the Man. I want to see that more than anything. It's not even that big of a deal, but those are two people I'd want to see fight each other.
Okay. So you're not just going to throw all the women into a battle royal or
No.
an eight woman tag
No,
match?
maybe do that with a different group, but not with that.
Okay.
Because you could have like a team versus team with the like Tony Storm and one of the two champions, like Bianca Belair versus Tony Storm's team, like Team Storm versus Team Belair,
Okay.
and do that. But like, I want to see the Man and DMD separate.
Okay.
Because you could do like Storm. Shit, I already forgot. Storm, Athena, Willow, and somebody else. Sky Blue versus Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss. I don't know. Asuka, and then somebody else.
So
What if Candice LeRae or something like that?
yeah.
Do that as a group, like just a fun kind of 4-way tag match.
So speaking of groups,
Go ahead.
because I think I know who we're both thinking. Which team do you have do a tag match against the Judgment Day?
The Judgment Day?
Judgment Day.
So a group of 3, right?
Or 4,
How'd it be a group of 4?
because they have Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, but they're not going to have her fight.
They could. Why not?
Why would they have her fight? In a mixed tag?
Sure. I don't know. We're fantasy booking. We do whatever we want.
I guess so. I mean,
You don't have to. Just
well,
just
now
put it
I'm
out
trying
there.
to think of like a group that has a.
Oh, dude, come on.
Are you thinking of House of Black?
Hell yeah, I am.
I guess so. Yeah.
Even if the
that's
women
actually, yeah.
even if the women weren't in the match, House of Black's
House
got
of Black would be great. I
has
think.
to fight Judgment
Just having
Day.
the two women out in the ringside, that would be good.
Like
I think
as soon as my brain was like, who does the Judgment Day fight? I immediately was like, House of Black. There's not
That's
even
weird
a question.
you just said I just thought of this, which was,
Like for me, I was like, there's not even a question.
no, yeah.
That's the tag match.
Okay, so House of Black versus Judgment Day, because I mean one of them is a copy of the other, but so this is my idea too, and I'm just gonna throw it out there because one of them is a title which doesn't have to be the top match because again we're not gonna put titles on the line,
Right.
but the Elite versus the Bloodline.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in. I like
isn't
it.
it? Sound,
I'm
I
in,
thought
I like
about
it.
like I was like, because in my head at first when we started this, I was like, okay, the Bucks versus the Usos, obviously, but I'm like, wait a minute, if we just put Roman and Kenny Omega in there, we just do that match too. I was like, that would just be fun to do the three
Yep.
team.
I'm in for that.
That would be awesome.
I'm in for that. Okay, I got you a one-on-one match.
Okay.
That WWE squandered a little bit. I would like to see Brock Lesnar and Keith Lee
That would be great. I would actually like to see that too.
because they got such a huge reaction when Keith Lee came out in the Rumble,
Yeah.
and Lesnar was awesome in that like little interaction that they had. And somehow they fucking dropped the ball.
That'd
Keith
be
Lee.
fun.
Yeah. So that I say that is a great one-on-one
That
match.
would be fun. I'm trying now to think of a good, like, Wardlow versus Bobby Lashley. I feel like that would be good because I was thinking of like people who would be like big and fun because they're both two big dudes.
Right. Well, yeah, and then it becomes like, do they complement each other? Like, would Wardlow fighting somebody bigger be more entertaining, or would
Well, I
Wardlow
mean,
fighting somebody smaller be more
him versus
entertaining?
Brian Cage was amazing.
Right.
That was fucking great. I loved that match. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Because they were both doing like crazy cruiserweight shit where they're jumping off and doing moonsaults and shit.
Yeah.
And head scissors. I remember they both did head scissors one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely that's because I was trying to think of someone big. that we
Okay, I
could do
like that. I
Bobby
like that.
Lashley versus Wardlow.
Oh, dude, I got one.
Go ahead.
The Acclaimed against the New Day.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely,
Okay, good.
absolutely. The New Day versus the Acclaim. Oh my goodness, I spiked the mic real hard on that one.
Yeah, he did.
I see it. I can see it right here.
It came in my head. I started like thinking. I was like, okay, who's the Acclaim fight? And I was like, the New Day. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a good one.
I completely
That's
everybody.
a fucking good one.
Every time you put out someone from WWE, I completely blank and go, "Well, who's AEW guys gonna fight?" And so I was just thinking,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in my head, which I know will never happen, but I thought of, because I don't even think he wrestles. Satnam Singh, does he even wrestle anymore, or does he do matches, or is he just there to hang out?
So I think he's just there hanging.
He's just hanging
I
out.
think he's hanging out. I think he's there hanging out because he's training to be a wrestler,
Okay.
and they want him on TV because he's a really big deal in India.
So I want to do a giant against another giant.
Okay.
So I probably would put him against Omos or whatever.
Ah.
So I was like, that would be cool. But the problem is that I don't think they're too great at wrestling.
no, they could just
Beat the shit out of each other.
yeah.
It'll
Give me a 5-minute.
It'll be like one of the beginning matches.
Yeah, give me a 5-minute. They just fucking slap each other. I'm entertained. I'm good.
That'd be good. I like that concept.
Just give me some big meaty men slapping.
Yeah,
meat.
big meaty men slapping meat. Exactly. That one I feel like is just kind of a throwaway, but like, oh, whatever, they're doing something fun.
Yeah.
Trying to think of,
Who do you put?
is there a big group of a lot of people in WWE? Because I want to.
No.
I'm thinking of somebody that will go good against the Dark Order. Because I'd want to do that as
I
like
think
a
the
small,
only one that you would have that would work would
that would be like a buy-in.
Yeah, I think the only group so there's I guess there's like 2 group opportunities, right? You could do what the fuck? The top dollar group. I guess there's
Row
only 2
or
of them
whatever.
though. What's
only
the other
2?
group?
Didn't they have 3? What happened to the other guy?
Yeah, the other guy was Swerve Strickland.
Oh.
Fuck. What's the other group? Delgado El. I knew the whole time. Oh. Delgado El Fantasma. There's 3 of
okay.
them.
Oh yeah, okay, that would do that because they're nobodies, and the Dark Order is pretty much nobodies half the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've done that. I've done that joke before with Swerve.
I know.
When they came back, I was like, didn't that group have another guy? And you're like, yeah, I think they did.
Did you? They So here's my problem. I keep looking. I'm like, who do we put Moxley with? And I feel like I just keep going like Rollins, and I'm like, but I don't want him with
Riddle?
Rollins. I guess Riddle. I could work.
they're both like rough fighters.
That would make sense.
I mean, didn't Riddle do like UFC and shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems very I don't know. I don't think they're unless you do like Braun Strowman, but I feel like they probably have done that before. I don't know.
Who, Moxley and Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
Maybe.
See, I don't know who exactly Moxley would fight because it's like who has he not fought already?
Yeah, Moxley's a hard one. I feel like the other one I keep having a hard time with is who to match Rollins up with.
Rollins could fight. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's somebody that I could think of, but
There's
I
definitely
can't think
somebody.
of them right now.
Darby?
Jangle Boy?
Oh, Jangle Boy.
Actually, you know what? I think there's a better one than those two, which is another pillar, which is Guevara.
Okay.
Guevara and Rollins versus each other. I think that'd be fun. The other two, I'm like, it's kind of not. Like, Jungle Boy would be more. I think Darby Allin should be against someone like. I don't know, someone who's more of a.
Who do you put You got to get the Jangle Boy and Darby.
Jangle Boy and Darby. See, I don't know. Like maybe Jangle Boy versus Gargano.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be really nice.
Yep.
But Darby Allin's gonna be a hard one for me because I'm like, who matches his kind of? There's no one real like don't give a shit intensity kind of thing.
I don't know why, but I pulled up WWE's Superstars page so I could look, and for some reason, I kind of want to see Darby Allin fight Gunther.
I saw that too, and I was like, I feel like you're gonna say Gunther.
God! Oh my god, dude! They would match up really well together, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Even if we change the idea of what I wanted.
Oh, how the fuck did we not pick a match for AJ Styles?
Well, because I was thinking he had the Good Brothers with him, so I was like, maybe we'll have him.
Him and the Good Brothers against.
I don't know. Maybe do that with the Dark Order. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, it's difficult because it's like, best friends versus the Good Brothers and AJ Styles.
Okay. Well, I guess then we can't do Orange Cassidy and Kevin Owens.
Shit.
Then.
No, I guess we'll
Well,
have
unless we don't do Orange Cassidy, we do the them two and Rocky Romero.
Yeah, Roppongi Vice and I guess best friends. I don't know because Trent is in both, so you can't go like, who do you leave out of there?
Yeah, who you leave out of there?
But like, yeah. Also, the fact of like, even if we get rid of the man versus DMD, I'd love to see Damage Control versus Britt Baker. Oh, I guess you can't because what's her face isn't an actual wrestler.
I mean, you could still do it. It just
Yeah.
you just wouldn't be a part of it.
It's very difficult to do this.
I know. Well, see, that's the thing. You could come up with some stuff.
I actually would rather have the best friends fight the Sheamus's group, to be honest,
Okay.
because it's 3 guys.
So AJ Styles has got to fight somebody.
AJ Styles could fight Darby.
Somehow we left Edge out. That's just another match.
I mean, there's plenty of people who are going to be left out. I mean, we're
that's
just throwing
true.
out
That's true.
like groups.
We're just throwing out ideas.
It's going to be a little difficult to fill every spot.
Well, true. Yeah, not everybody's going to be on the card. Actually, I'm going to pull up the AEW roster because I want to find somebody for AJ Styles to fight.
I said Darby Allin, but I feel like I don't know. There's such a cross path because some
I
people
feel like that's
who are
possible,
in AEW,
but I feel like
there's such an issue though because a lot of
I
people
feel
from
like Gunther would
AEW
be a better.
have come from WWE, so it's like you already fought in some of these people already.
Yeah.
Like Moxley's a big one. Where we're like, I don't know who to have him fight because he's probably already fought him.
Okay, hold on. What if we put AJ Styles and the
Good brothers.
Good Brothers against the Best Friends? Because
Rocky?
Death Triangle fights the Brawling Brutes.
I like that. I like that a lot. I forgot about that. I remembered Death Triangle earlier because I was thinking of who would fight Penta. Because I was only thinking for Penta for some reason.
Yeah.
We also have the rest of the...
Oh, shit. We also left out Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho.
I was going to say we also have the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club to deal with. Because I was like, who's Wheeler Yuta and Castillo and...
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of... Ultimately, what you would...
It's too many people.
Yeah. Ultimately, what you would... I mean, we're just coming up with random matches, right? Ultimately, what you would do in a normal circumstance is you would say you get 8 or 9 matches, and then we would plan out what an actual card would look like.
If we don't do Wardlow versus Bobby Lashley, I want Powerhouse Hobbs versus Bobby Lashley. Somebody versus...
I like it.
I love Bobby Lashley in general, but there's so many people in AEW that could fight a lot of these
I
people.
like it. I would actually almost take that above.
I want to see Charlotte Flair. Is Charlotte Flair even wrestling at the moment?
I think she's injured.
I'd want to see her versus Jade Cargill. And I don't even like Charlotte Flair. But I'd want to see her fight.
Yeah, I got you.
Did you see Nikki Cross betrayed Alexa last night? Or yesterday afternoon?
How'd she betray her? Are they? Oh, I guess they were friends.
She came out and hit the rope and then screwed her over, DDT'd her or
Oh, I
something,
didn't know
and
that.
then that's how Damage Control won.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So I don't know if Nikki Cross is part of Damage Control.
Okay, I don't. But see, didn't she attack? She attacked Damage Control like 2 weeks ago.
Maybe she's not. I don't know. Maybe she's just a crazy person.
I mean, that sounds like
She
Nikki
thought she
Cross.
was used to be a superhero.
Yeah, right? Come on. No. Almost a superhero.
Whatever.
Okay, what if we
She wasn't trying to be a trash woman, so she was trying to be something.
That's
that was a superhero.
trash woman.
You're like almost a superhero, but she was trying to become a superhero.
Okay, what if we let Powerhouse Hobbs fight Bobby Lashley, so that way we could get Wardlow fight Chad Gable. So Chad Gable can go shh, and then he just
Headbutts
fucking
him?
headbutts him, fucking clotheslines him, power bombs him
Such a
5 times,
Everything about Wardlow is great, except for that stupid fucking clothesline.
and then he could power bomb him 5 times, win the match. Everybody's entertained.
Yeah. And then when he gets mad, they're like, "You got beat by Wardlow," and he's like, sheesh."
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Maybe we could like somehow put plants in the audience so they can chant Wardlow's gonna kill you, and that's what he shushes, and then that's when he gets headbutted.
Oh yeah, no. In general, people would be like Wardlow.
Yeah.
They'd be like shh, trying to shush people down as they're yelling Wardlow.
Just give me that like 5-minute squash match.
Why
I'm
aren't
happy.
we? Why aren't we working for one of these companies?
Yeah, why aren't we working for these companies?
This is just fucking ridiculous.
It's gold.
Some of this stuff just works on itself.
It's huge.
So that was a perfect. You put it in right in between the break in my words. So my question is, and this is a big one for me. Who does Danhausen fight? Who squashes Danhausen?
That's a good question. Who squashes
I'm
Danhausen?
so mad, dude. On Halloween they had him, and I know.
Okay, could we put Orange Cassidy with the Best Friends in the 6-man tag and have Kevin Owens fight Danhausen?
It's not gonna be as good though.
It's not the same.
You're Miz versus Danhausen works.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like Kevin Owens versus Orange Cassidy is perfect because both of them are funny in their own way, but they know how to really wrestle really good. The Miz is not like, he doesn't do something that's like, oh my god, that's so amazing. He's a good wrestler,
Okay, we could
but
go.
like I've watched Kevin Owens and been like, wow.
We could do that. Akira Tozawa. R-Truth. R-Truth.
R-Truth against Danhausen?
Yes. That'd be entertaining as fuck, dude.
That would be entertaining as fuck. And luckily we're fantasy booking because he's injured, and injured pretty bad.
Oh, is he?
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh my god. On NXT he did a flip and he just hit the floor. Like he jumped over the rope and just hit the floor. And then
Damn.
as soon as he hits the floor, he grabs his legs. Oh, and they had to walk him off.
Oh, wow.
He was fighting that Australian guy. I forget what his name is, but he fell really bad. Like it's sometimes I'm like, I can't rewatch it because it's disturbing. And he hits the ground normal, but it's like you can tell something just smacks, and then it's like, oh nope, and they're like, oh, this is what happened. I'm like, don't show it again. That's fine. It's not like gruesome. It's just like, like if he got injured because he was not caught whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he almost doesn't clear the rope, and then it's bad.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, they had to walk him off mid-match, and then there was like this guy won because he can't
Yeah.
get up. So
Yeah, I would go. I would go R-Truth.
they were asking him when he took him into the back. They said, "What's up with your knee? What's up?
What's up?
What's up?"
And then he just yelled, "What's up?" back at them.
yeah. And he's like, "But seriously, what's wrong with your knee?" He's like, "I don't know. I messed it up."
Damn it, we can't use that terminology around him. Stop asking him what's up.
What's up? Hey, stop it! I was saying a sentence. Stop it. There was another match that I had, but then I lost it just now.
Okay.
But it was going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Sting versus The Undertaker. Finally.
I don't know.
After all these years.
I don't know if we could do that one.
Probably not. It'd have to be a cinematic match.
Who were we talking about before we talked about shit?
You were like, who should Danhausen fight?
Yeah, but then we got on the whole concept of R-Truth. And then there was someone else I was going to tell you a story about, and I can't remember who it was. Son of a bitch.
I don't know.
But so anyway, I think these are good matches.
I think so too.
We should be paid for this.
Yeah,
This
that's
is free content.
If they had a pay-per-view with these matches, they would make millions
Millions.
and millions.
Yes. They'd be able to purchase their own blimp.
Yep.
Danhausen would finally be able to get his own blimp, which is what he wants.
That's what he wants.
He wants his own blimp.
It's what he deserves.
Do we have someone for Riddle?
Yeah, you said Moxley.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like he doesn't capture the intensity of Moxley.
I don't think anybody in
You
WWE.
ever fight Drew McIntyre?
Who,
Actually,
Moxley?
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like Riddle's good, but I'm like, we could find better. I feel like, but there's no one like that's the problem with Darby Allin and Moxley. You don't have people in WWE who are like bleeding and beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Like you just have like basic pro wrestlers,
Right. Which is why I thought.
sports entertainers.
Which is why I thought Gunther is a good
we didn't do
person
like
against
any of the JSA,
Darby. I know we didn't.
like any of it.
Well, Jericho's hard because
Jericho has fought everyone alive. If you point to in a WWE locker room, you go, Chris Jericho's already fought them.
yeah.
He's been around so long that he's just fought everybody. He's literally, if I was a teenager still, I would have said that guy isn't worth a damn. And now I'm like, this guy is an absolute legend, and he's gonna be one for forever. He's an absolute wrestling legend. He has innovated himself so many times and times again that there's no way you can unless he kills a man, he will never lose his credibility of a legend.
Could we put him against Kevin Owens rematch from WrestleMania?
I don't know, because then he's got the JSA. I don't know. There's so many people. That's the problem. It's so many people.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I said ultimately what you would want to do in this situation is take some time and say like, okay, I'm only allowed 8 matches, and then you build your match card around that.
I just thought of 2 buy-in matches, which was Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker or whatever the fuck their fake names are. So you understand that, right?
Mhm.
We've talked about that, the whole Matt and Jeff thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which is so stupid because they're not, Matt and Jeff aren't around right now. Well, at least
Yeah.
Matt is. But so those 2 against, what's the group? Swerve Strickland's old group.
Oh, the Top Dollar group. I forget
Yeah,
what
Hit
they're
Row or
called.
something
Hit
like
Row.
that.
That's it.
But then also I thought of Hook versus Veer, and I don't know if Veer's even around anymore.
That's great. That's great. I like it.
Yeah, Hook versus Veer.
And now I'm thinking, where the
is-
fuck is the
where
beer?
the fuck is the Veer? Fucking bullshit. See,
Oh,
I
Iron
couldn't do
Sheik.
a Saudi Arabia accent earlier, but if I'm doing an impression of the Sheik, then it's fine.
Cheeky baby.
It's fine then. It's okay. I'm doing an actual person, not
I love
just some racist
those
stereotype.
the Veer things went on for so long. Tweeting, where the fuck is the
Where
Veer?
the fuck is the Veer?
Oh shit.
So yeah, I had a game.
That guy's funny.
How far are we in?
An hour and 7 minutes.
We can do the game I had.
Okay.
It's a nice woke game of you figuring out who some wrestlers identify as.
This doesn't sound woke at all.
Oh, it's very woke. It's very, very woke.
Sounds like we're about to get canceled.
Maybe. I'm just giving you the honest truths of what you think they identify as. It's probably a bad idea.
Wait, that statement.
What? For example, Nyla Rose is.
I don't know if you. I don't know what answer you want from me. Do you want me like you're saying is? So like, are you asking what she is biologically or what she identifies as?
What she identifies as.
A woman.
Yes, that is correct. A lesbian woman.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what you don't know. Aubrey Edwards is.
Bi?
Yeah. How'd you know that one? How the
I
fuck did you know that
I
one?
follow her on the Instas.
You just right away just jumped right on that one.
I did.
And Anthony Bowens is.
Gay?
And Danhausen is.
I don't know.
Very nice, very evil. Come on,
Oh,
dude.
damn it.
I gotcha.
You got me.
Yeah.
I legitimately was like, oh my god, is he like gay or something?
Nope. I mean, he's straight. I mean,
He's
as far
very
as I know.
nice, very evil.
He might be bisexual. Who knows? Juice Robbins is rock hard. Juice Robinson? Or is it Juice Robinson?
Yeah, Juice Robinson.
Juice Robinson is rock hard. That's what he identifies as.
Okay. For Tony Storm?
Tony Storm is bisexual?
I don't know.
I
I
think
just know
so.
that they're married. I can't believe Jim Cornette doesn't like Orange Cassidy.
Why?
I don't know.
It's so random that you brought that up. I do like the fact that Mick Foley is pushing for him to work for AEW for a little bit.
AEW. I did see that.
6 weeks for Jim Cornette. Just do 6 weeks. Hashtag 6 weeks for corny.
If he came in and was an on-air personality, he would immediately have the same heat that Dan Lambert had.
Yeah.
Like the
That-
crowd would immediately hate him without him doing anything.
This is my thing. Like I feel like he would get immediately taken off the air if he was like said something and just said, dropped an F-bomb by accident.
Yeah.
I could see him dropping an F-bomb by accident, like me. Like I would accidentally say the F word, like when I was like talking about something very passionately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fucking, I don't know. I'm like, oh shit. Like I feel like that's what he would do.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good idea, and it's coming from Mick Foley. I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
Yep. Let's see what happens.
Mick Foley, for people who don't know, Mick Foley pushed on his podcast to have Jim Cornette work for AEW for at least, was it 6 weeks or 6 months?
I don't remember the
Six
time
something.
frame.
He said even if he just worked for a little bit and then he could just leave. He said, but he's like, I know he hates him. I know he hates a lot of people from AEW. He's like, but there's a lot of people he respects. So just have him work there for a little bit and then have him go back into retirement if he wants to. I think it's a good idea because he has a lot of viewpoints on AEW about what they're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was there to help it be fixed, would it get better? Would it get worse? We don't know.
Foley is pod.
Yeah, Foley is pod. Are we advertising another podcast while we're on our podcast?
Maybe, I don't know. Not to be
It-
confused with the podcast that Kurt Angle has or the podcast that maybe Kevin Nash has.
Kevin Nash is the Click This or something like that?
Yeah. It seems everybody's got a podcast now.
We do.
Jeff Jarrett has one.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeff Jarrett works for AEW now. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did. I honestly wasn't expecting that to be him.
I wasn't expecting it either. I mean, it sort of makes sense because it's like you had a match with him a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago or months ago.
TNA invading AEW.
Did you find it weird that they had the that one guy come in as like a fake out?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
That was the one guy from the foundation.
It made no sense.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of foundation, I forgot to mention earlier. It's something that was the thing I was going to say before we got sidetracked with who was going to fight Danhausen. They fucking squashed him so hard. So they had the foundation's QT Marshall fight him on Halloween. I was for sure thinking like, well, QT is the bad guy, he's going to lose. Didn't lose because randomly, as Danhausen gets knocked out of the ring, Shotty Lee from Nightmare, whatever the Cody Rhodes' group, comes out and is trying to cheer Danhausen on. And then as QT Marshall distracts him, Shotty beats the shit out of Danhausen and throws him in. So I guess Shotty is part of the foundation now or something, which he's a great wrestler. They should be using him more. But it's just weird to be like, this is out of nowhere. Just to like kind of highlight like, hey, this guy that we don't use enough, guess what? He's in a new group now. It's just like, half people are gonna be like, who was that guy? I only see him when he fights Art Anderson, or when he fights with Art Anderson and his brother, or his son. I say his brother. But yeah, it's just fucking weird. I was so mad. I was like, Danhausen's for sure gonna be QT Marshall. Nope. Just a fucking squash.
QT Marshall is unstoppable.
Well, he gets beat by a lot of people, but
He's not unstoppable.
he's not unstoppable. Did you have fun today, Kibbles?
Yeah,
It's fun. I like,
so much
I
fun.
like getting stuff out. I don't think we talk about these past 2 episodes. We have not talked a lot about like staying focused on wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a lot of fun.
Good.
Like I don't think we should keep it critiqued just to wrestling, but at the same time that's what this is about. Does that make sense? You're shifting your eyes as if you're confused.
Squared circle.
Yeah, squared circle. Also, to update, since we're gonna wrap up here, we didn't get any questions. We asked for questions last week.
We
We didn't get any questions. Thanks a lot, guys. Second most viewed podcast episode. Didn't get any questions.
Oh no.
I mean, I don't think we got questions for the first one, so or the top highest.
Oh.
But you've made us sad, and it's all your fault.
Yep.
You've made your podcast hosts very, very upset, and we're gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Top guys out.
Top guys out. No, we're not FTR.
Oh. Just trying to get us more views.
Oh yeah, actually, I mean, I think honestly, what gives us views is whatever I put in the tags and the title.
Makes sense.
I feel like people saw Usi and was like, "Oh, what's this about?"
Yeah, Usi.
Who knows? Maybe Roman Reigns himself watched this episode or this last episode.
I believe it.
I was like, people like that Usi thing.
I believe it.
That one guy's annoying though. Me.
Oh, okay.
Me. Of course, it's me. I hate myself. You don't hate yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. You can be honest.
It's part of the human condition.
Exactly. So we made the most greatest Dream Forbidden Door WWE X AEW card, and you can't beat us. And if you could beat us, if you have beaten us, then you'll put it in the comments. See what I did there?
Maybe.
I got him to put so that way they write stuff into the comments.
Okay. Makes sense.
All right, well that's been it. I think that's good for today.
We will end. I'll say,
Go ahead, say the thing.
do the needful.
Bye.
He's feeling very stressed, and he's just not feeling very Usi. And I shit you not, he says Usi. Roman Reigns legit turns and fucking laughs.
He breaks.
He breaks. Him and Jay both break.